everyone. Good night to those of you out there. Thank you for joining the live. Tonight I decided to go live because there are so many updates, so many things happening. And it's happening on the fly. And there are certain things I want to address tonight. We have different views on what's happening in our country. I want to appeal to people from different departments in life, different walks of life. I have friends, people who I'm acquainted with, who have different perspective on this whole Budna case. And these are people that I know closely, right? I talk with them, we talk on the phone. And some of the things that I hear them say regarding this Budna situation, it really and truly baffles me. It really kind of make I think about their integrity. The things that people say when you excuse a party or when you excuse a crime because of the person being affected, because of the person's history, you ignore democracy, you ignore due process, you ignore justice. But just because I have friends, acquaintances, who make I question on sincerity because of the things that you guys say. This is a national security issue. We have Albert Argas commenting on Facebook. And I agree with everything that Alberto Argas is saying. You have Shine Barrow commenting about this, expressing his displeasure, just as Alberto Argas expressing his displeasure. You have Tracy Panton, the leader of the opposition. The big question is, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to press this government? Demand justice, demand transparency. We could talk, we could post how we feel on Facebook. But if that's all we do, and we take no action, then it just becomes the same old, same old. This is a crime against the people of Belize. This is a criminal act at the highest level. You know what I have a problem against? Our youths. If they get caught with a stick or two of marijuana, if we, the grassroots people, get caught committing the slightest of crime, we will be locked up, we will be charged in the swiftest of manner. justice will be served. So now that this government, Mads, no, good night. Now that this government, you're right, Bright Shine Poultry. Listen, this is a matter of national security. And I will keep saying this tonight, all night. Those of you, people who I know, friends, acquaintances, who I know on a level-headed, and I believe that just because of party politics, my dearest sister, Miss Joyce B.T. Gunyo, just because of party politics, you will choose to cancel democracy. You will choose to cancel transparency. Some of you, you know my problem with this Budna situation, and those of you who's defending, let's call it the government's position, you're expressing that, oh, you don't care. You don't care what happened to this man. You're missing the point, my dear brothers and sisters. You're missing the point. It is not about Budna. What this is about is the threatening of freedom, the breach of trust, public trust, the people's trust. The public's trust have been breached. We have the Commissioner of Police lying. The evidence, they out. We have the Prime Minister of Belize. When questioned about the video, his response is he no see no video. If he's telling the truth, then this speaks to your level of incompetence as a leader, as a captain of the ship. Because a video like that, a situation like that, you should have seen. Someone from your staff, from your administration, someone of your people should have sent you that video and made sure that you saw it. Now, you said you didn't see the video from the newscast, Channel 7 National News. You didn't see the video. Granted, you didn't see the video. But my question to you, Mr. Johnny Briceño, Prime Minister of Belize, did you see the original footage? Can you look us in the eyes and say you didn't see the high definition, the clean one, the clean version? Up to this point, you haven't seen it. With this level of emergency, you haven't seen it. Can you look us in the eyes and say you haven't? If you can do that, sir, then this again speaks to your level of incompetence as a leader. Because by now, you should have seen it. So whether you lie that you not see, or whether you see, this is not a problem. We leave these ministers to say whatever they want, dodge all the questions. They don't have to answer nothing. If the Prime Minister, if Johnny Briceño really and truly didn't see that video up until this point, whether that the video on Channel 7 newscast or the original footage, which you, Mr. Prime Minister, have had access to from the beginning. Kareem Musa, families, friends, brothers and sisters, this situation is no joke. Whether I do it with people like me and you, we speak out. Say Jules could afford to speak out. Whether I do it with people like us, I want to play this video just to comment on it. So just in case some of you haven't seen this clip. Good night, Barbara. Good night. Susan. Hats off to the citizen raising their voices. Yes, absolutely. I want to play this video. Let me play this video and then we can be on the same page. And I want to comment on this video.
What do you make of the allegations that the police department, members of the police department was involved in the abduction of Joseph Budna?
Well, that allegation has been done from the very start. What have I said from earlier that I'm waiting for the police report? This morning I called Minister Musa, who is responsible as the minister. What have I said from earlier that I'm waiting for the police report? This morning I called Minister Musa, who is responsible as the Minister of Home Affairs, and I told him that I want that report today or by tomorrow at the very latest. Once I get that report, I will see what is it that they present, and then we probably will have to decide what is the next step, whether we need to have an independent investigation or what it is. But please allow me to get that before I can be able to comment further.
Would you understand that cabinet discussed this matter yesterday? Tuesday, wouldn't you have gotten a brief then?
I don't know where you get that information because the cabinet that I managed did not have. We had no discussions about Budna on Tuesday. So somebody give you wrong information.
Have you seen the video that was leaked showing that all signs police were involved?
I have not had a chance to see the video. I've been here busy since yesterday. But again, let me repeat. I will get the report. I have told the minister I want that report today or tomorrow at the very latest. Once I get that report, then we could take the next step forward. And I'm telling you right now, if there's a need to name an independent investigation, I will do it. My government will do it. I repeat once again, this was not sanctioned by the government of Belize. No way you get that information.
So this was not sanctioned by the government of Belize.
Because the cabinet that I managed did
That's
not
what
have,
the
we had
Prime
no
Minister
discussions about.
is saying. This was not sanctioned by the government of Belize. So they're doing an investigation. They have not concluded the investigation just yet. But the Commissioner of Police already concluded that no police officers involved. Fast forward today, now we know for sure that police officers were involved. Here where I think, right? Here where I think this unfold. This is how I think that this thing will unfold. These are my speculations based on how things have been going. The officers that they named, I have a feeling with how corrupt these people are, they will find the money, taxpayers' money. Who knows? These are my speculations. Those officers that are found guilty or that might be found guilty, they're going to jail, maybe spend 5 years, spend a couple years. Their family will get taken care of. They will get taken care of. They have to strike a deal. Those are my speculations. It's difficult. You know what is sad? How we haven't been pressuring, at least, you see, and that because we even have our opposition. This is the time for Tracy, for Shine, Alberto Argas, Ala who consider ourselves leaders. This is your moment. Show us, prove to us that the United Democratic Party is alive, is not dead. Prove to the people of Belize, Ms. Tracy Tega, show us that you are capable of leading this country. Let's see. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's hold this Briceño administration accountable. Let's show the Belizean people that you and Shine could unite, come together for one common good, to rescue democracy. Make I say uno do that. That will demonstrate true leadership. I would love to see that. This is the time for BNTU, Belize National Teachers Union. My goodness, I stood with you guys, and I was willing to go. You all know it, especially teachers for the Dangriga from Dangriga branch. I stood with you guys, and I'm proud of that. I was hyped. I was very impressed with how BNTU was standing up. But as soon as you guys get paid, all I want to just run in on the corners, just like when they turn on light and roach scatter. Why are we so complacent? Why are we so complacent? PSU, why aren't we talking against why? Look, we're waiting for them to release the footage because the one where Jules released, thank God for Jules, is not the original footage. Then footage where you see from Channel 7, they're not the original. They got a clean version. They have the clean version. That is in control of the government of Belize. Kareem Musa could provide that. Johnny Briceño could provide that. Why they don't want to show it? Why don't they want to reveal the footage? Why? Belizean people want to know. Belizean people deserve to know. Taxpayers want to know. We deserve to know. Tell us, Kareem Musa. Tell us, Johnny Briceño. Tell us, please, why? Why are you holding back the footage? Why? Tell us. We as Belizeans, we shouldn't allow this tyrannical government. We shouldn't allow them to manipulate us like this, to take advantage of us like this. We should speak out. We should not only speak out, but we should organize ourselves and show this administration that we are not fools, we are not cowards. I watched the news tonight, and I want to comment on, and these people are something else. I tell you, these people are something else. These people are something else. Now, according to the Prime Minister, he's waiting for a report from Kareem Musa. Make we analyze this thing for a bit. This issue started, this problem, this kidnapping started for since last week. Since last week, the commissioner went on record saying police not involved. He used the word unequivocally, unequivocally. You know what unequivocally mean? It comes from the voice, from two words. Equivocation means that an equivocation means that there are two possibilities to what is being said. There are two options to what is being said. When you say unequivocally, there is no two way. There is no uncertainty. With certainty, he said, police are not involved. Joyce Cayetano said, it seems that the politicians are very comfortable doing exactly what they want because nobody challenges them. Yes, my dear sister. The commissioner said unequivocally that police are not involved before the investigation even started. Now that who they investigate? The police. The police investigating the police. The commissioner, we caught the commissioner in his lies. First, the man said our car, then our SUV. Then he said police never involved. Now, surveillance footage show that police truly involved. So this is my speculation. Their police, where they found guilty, they might take the rap. Kareem Musa now want to go to jail, and they're not going to jail because we laid back. So this is where I am calling the leader of the opposition. I am calling out all of you, BNTU, all on you. Todo. Now is the time to show where we stand. They are robbing us of true freedom and democracy. Why we keep playing games with these people? Here are some things I want to share. Let's cut through the noise. The Budna kidnapping is no small matter. This is not a small matter. It's not something we should just scroll through. This is not about Joseph Budna and his past. Yes, he's a pedophile. Yes, he's a criminal. But you know what is so pathetic about this? Some of you who I know very well, some of you know people who are criminals. If we want to judge, some of you know people and these people are close to you who are criminals who have committed worse crimes than Budna. I am not here in Budna's defense. I am calling you out in your hypocrisy. Some of you know drug dealers. Some of you know drug dealers, big time drug dealers. We commit heinous crime, money launderers. We commit heinous crimes. And when you talk about big time drug dealer and big time money launderers, you talk about some lives will get taken away. Some people's life will expire. Some I don't know people worse than Budna. But now you are sitting in the judgment seat and say because of Joseph Budna, make them lock your ass off that Guatemala. Leha diga lao. This is not about Budna. This is a matter of national security. We are not safe in this country. This is not about Joseph Budna. Park that on the side. Some of you that are commenting to it doesn't, you don't care, he needs to punish, he punish for his crimes, all that. Oh, now you are God. You are God. You know, I was, while looking at this Budna situation, a Bible verse, Bible passage came to my mind. And I want to read it. I hope I could find it. Here it is. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. To those of you Christians who call yourselves Christians, this, I believe, is from the book of Timothy, chapter 3, starting from verse 1. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. This is the way it gets sweet for me. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, hypocrites, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Sounds familiar? Does that sound familiar? This is the description. This is the description of those that are leading us. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Having a form of godliness, Louis Wade, but denying the power thereof. From such, turn away. Why do we tolerate these people? Why do we keep behaving like pawns? Do you know what a pawn is in the game of chess? The pawns can only move one step at a time. And the bigger, more powerful pieces like the knight and the queen and the king, they use the pawns to put them in at the way of the enemies or the one make them not block their progress. And then at the one will just die out. That's how they are treating us. That's how they treat us, like pawns. This incident has shaken the foundation of trust. This incident has shaken the very core, the foundation of our trust, government and law enforcement. Government and law enforcement in cahoots. It is obvious. How come? Who? Which criminal could pass all the checkpoints or have the balls to pass all the checkpoints, cross the border? Kidnapping. You know how serious of a crime that is? But each time they question the prime minister, each time they question any one of them, we could answer Kevin Bernard in Orange Walk. He know the answer, no question. Johnny Briseño, right in his stamping ground. He know watch the video. How the captain of our ship Now watch a video of crucial importance. We pass almost 24 hours. He now watch the video. If your son get caught with a stick of weed or two, he get locked up immediately. As much as I'm not satisfied with BNTU right now, when BNTU made a strike, not strike but protest and block the road. Teachers do it here in Dangriga. Teachers do it in Belmopan, in Belize City, in other parts of Belize. But only the teachers in Dangriga, they summoned to court for fighting for what is rightfully theirs. They summon them to court. Now, this government, in cahoots with the police, with law enforcement, have breached the trust between the public and the government and the law enforcers. Trust has been breached. We are not safe in this country. It stinks from the very top. They could summon our teachers for a mechanical failure in the middle of the road. But when they could kidnap a man where all the evidence is showing that they are responsible, highly likely. And you know what is ridiculous? We are allowing them to buy time. They buy time to see how they will get out of all this craziness. We give them enough time. The commissioner of police should be relieved of his duty immediately, be it temporarily or permanently. He should have no kind of role in this. Kareem Musa, you need to step down. You need to resign. You guys, you know, the other thing about this, right? They need to be jailed. Yes, Susan, they need to be jailed. The commissioner of police should have been relieved of his duty since last week, be it temporarily or permanently. He should have been relieved. He lied. Hands down, it's a fact. He lied. He lied. I want to go to the comments. Miss Joy, Susan, jail time. Yes, I'm so glad you referred to that experience because I believe that there are two sets of laws, or maybe three. The South has been neglected and abused at so many levels. Indeed, my dear sister. Then I get where, Papa. I hope not. You see, listen, for those of us, I want to categorize the audience out there, the people, how people are looking at this. I have had conversations with two attorneys, and both of these attorneys have agreed. So I know they get crazy. And one of these attorneys made it clear to me, Cyril, I have seen evidence. I just can't go up on record. This is a corrupt administration. If you are not afraid, if you are not concerned, my brothers and sisters, then I honestly don't know what to say to you. I honestly don't know what to say to you. What do you think will happen for those of you signed on? What do you think will happen? How do you think this will unfold? Let me hear from you. How do you think this will unfold? What do you think will happen? Do you think that those police officers who they already whose names they already called, if they are found guilty, do you think they're gonna go to jail? Do you think any of the ministers, if found guilty, will go to jail? Another thing. So I think it was Jules who requested this, or some other individual on one of the talk shows, for the commissioner of police and Kareem Musa to release their car logs. Listen, friends, I'm into technology. I'm not the sharpest tool in the box. But when it comes to database, now, there was a story, I'll pull it up, and probably in my next slide, I will show you the proof, where there was a bid or some type of business where Smart and BTL and all these cable companies were going to merge into one. You know how dangerous that would be? You know how dangerous if you have a monopoly, if you have one group of individual we control the telecommunications, we control data. If that happened, listen, don't be fooled. These people, they could already be listening into your calls, reading your messages. And if they ask the prime minister to show his call log, if we ask Kareem Musa, Minister of Defense, to show his car log, if we ask the commissioner to show his car log, Budna mentioned that the commissioner's name was called. Budna mentioned that Kareem name was called. A Kareem was called. You think with the power, with the control they have, with the access they have to BTL and Smart, if you don't have to be a computer science major to know this. Anything with a database, you can manipulate, you can control, you can go in that system and just delete records, you can delete calls. If you got a BTL, some of you have done it before, you can say, I need a history of my call log, and they will give you a history of your call log. It would have been nice if we could get a history of their car log from between the time this incident happened up until now. But even if they not be surprised if they hand it over. Don't be surprised. But I guarantee you they will not do that without doctoring the car log. Man, these people are sick. Let me go to the comment. Imagine if they did it with the beer. I don't know where to talk about, Brother Dave Newton. Respect to you. Glad to see you online. Samantha, we need to get Budna an attorney. There are attorneys who are teaming up to assist him. Odessa Hilak, the Prime Minister, Kareem Musa, Compol, and the police officers need for... Boy, I don't want to read the last part on this live. I don't want to get banned. You're going really hard, Odessa Hilak. Common sense. You're absolutely right, my dear sister. Common freaking sense. They will lie to us in front of our faces. They're not fool they listen. They're not no fool they listen. Markin Bennett, they do need to resign. The commissioner should be relieved of his duties immediately. They only they muddy the water. They're buying time. They have a lot more time to go and do damage control. Right now, then they talk, then they hat their head. Then they decide that who I get boss and who not get boss. Then they probably decide who I take the rap, who I get paid for take the rap, because the footage will come out. I mean, it done the out kinda. Why are they holding the original, the footage? They have control of it. The government have control of the clean, high definition footage of that event. But they don't want to show it to you. It pains me, Odessa. It hurts to watch that video. And I have people I call friends. I have people who I could say we are acquaintances. Who they talk so craziness where I just despise, really and truly. I am disappointed in you. We're good, but we have to be real with each other. Some of you have friends, some of you have families, some of you know acquaintances who have committed worse crime than Budna. I am not here to defend Joseph Budna. Let's just call a spade a spade. But because it is Joseph Budna, you will sit on the seat of God, of judgment, and say, no, that one there will commit murder, he will get a pass because I like him. His crimes are too clean. But that guy over there, you get to decide. You sit in the seat of God. That's hypocrisy. Come on. Give me something better, man. Come on. Come on. Is this where we're at? This shows what type of power, what type of control the government of Belize has, the amount of power we are giving to them. Then they talk about the 13th Amendment. They want more power. You out of your mind. You must be out of your criminal mind. Franz Crawford, yeah, a lot of Belizeans don't understand the severity of what has transpired these past weeks. Belize is now on a slippery to a banana republic. Man, listen. You know the part that gets me is people that I look up to and admire think that it's okay what happened to him and not seeing the bigger picture. Yes, Markin, you're absolutely right, my dear sister. You're absolutely right. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I will repay. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Thank you, Odessa. These people will pay for their crimes. You know, in other countries, they lock them up, you know. Belize and Guatemala has an agreement. I want to, let me see here, if I could pull up that document. Belize and Guatemala has an agreement to handle prisoners. Let me share. I want to share a little bit of this for a bit. Let me pull this up here. This thing just, it irked me, man. It really, really irked me that we, the people, we just, are we that? Seriously. We that like that, like sheep to be slaughtered? We don't ask. We don't question. Are we really that gullible? Are we really going to allow this government to just give us a pill that we know we cannot swallow? but we are trying to swallow it anyhow. Why? Because what? That a political party you're supporting? Is that why? You are willing to give up on democracy. You are willing to give up on justice just because you don't agree with who committed the crime. Just because you don't agree with who committed the crime. Just because, let me make some adjustments here. Just because you don't like who's committing the crime, that's why there's due process. I said before, if anyone would affect or try to molest my child in any way, I wouldn't want to take matters in my own hands. And that's why they have the law. For people like me, when I want to take matters in my own hands. It's simple. That's why they have the laws to deal with Budna for his crimes. This here, it says, Belize City, Tuesday, August 9, 2016. Back in December 2024, Belize and Guatemala inked 13 agreements on Placentia Peninsula, including an 18-article agreement governing a future prisoner exchange program, which would see nationals of either country convicted by the other state party serve their sentences at home. Belize and Guatemala had this agreement that prisoners, so in this case, Joseph Budna, who committed a crime in Guatemala, should have served his sentence here at home in Belize. That's the agreement, according to this article in Amandala. You know, my question then would be, does the commissioner have a say if he can or can't follow a command from the minister? If he can or can't? Let me answer that. Now, don't quote me on this. A friend of mine asked me to read the Police Act. And boy, oh boy, I went and I read the Police Act. I not finish it, by the way. And so far, the Police Act, if you read it and understand it, it is not for the citizens of Belize. It is not for us. It is for the Queen, the monarch. It is for the king. It is for the government, the one administrating, the one in power, the party in power, the police force. Go and read the Police Act. So, to your question, Franz, my question then would be, does the commissioner have a say if he can or can't follow a command from the minister? I cannot say yes or no on that question. What I can tell you is this. Going back to the Police Act, there's a part in there that says it is the Governor General that appoints the Commissioner of Police. Don't quote me on this. I will go back and I'll read it and I'll make sure I give you the accurate information on my next live. But from my memory, I haven't been studying it. I read through it, just peruse it. That the governor general appoints gives the commissioner, the police commissioner, the power. Now, the question we want to ask, who appoints the governor general? The governor general is appointed by the queen under the advice of the prime minister. The prime minister, the suggestion, I'm probably not using the right words, but that's how it goes. Or based on the recommendation might be a better word. Based on what the prime minister or who the prime minister would recommend. That's the one who get appointed for the governor general. So the prime minister would appoint somebody who will work in his favor. And then the governor general will appoint a commissioner who will likely fall in line. I'm just putting one and two together as an independent thinker. Odessa, but why they have him in Belize so long if he did wrong and the Guatemala authority didn't come and get him? It was because he was ruffling enough of them feathers. I would think that that's common sense, Odessa. I would think that that's common sense. But common sense not common nowadays for some of it, unfortunately. So according to that agreement, Budna supposed to maybe spend his time here. So there's a lot that we need to look into. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked. See, I am taking my time to do my due diligence. I don't know it all. I thank God for Jews. I don't know it all, but I do my best to do my due diligence. So I not just attack out of emotions, out of anger. This is the time for us to think critically. Why is it confusing, France? So in theory, the compel is not in the wrong if the orders came from above. I'm not okay. Let's speculate here because I know nobody locked me up for say that Cyril Uruwei said this. Let's speculate. This is a speculation. Okay. What we can draw at is this. So the day before Budna was captured, Budna and the prime minister had an exchange. Budna and the prime minister had an exchange. Even before that, Budna has been talking out against, he has been speaking out against the atrocities, the crime, these corrupt leaders. So they really and truly don't like Budna. See, this is neither here nor there, but what people like to say, part of the argument, Budna know he's wanted in Guatemala. Why he be so loud? Why he never just operate under the radar? Fear. But that's neither here nor there. That is neither here nor there. So park the one on the side too. Now, because of Budna being who he is, some people are assuming or speculating that, based on evidence, he's an enemy of the state. I believe he's an enemy of the state based on the evidence. I, Cyril Uruwei, believe he is an enemy of the state. With the evidence, I also believe it is highly likely that this was state-sponsored. You cannot get clearance to kidnap a man from Belize crossing the border to Guatemala. That is not a simple thing. That permission, others have to come for the higher ups. Who in their mind want to go through that? Even if that the Guatemalans, they orchestrate this. The Guatemalans, come on, man. Even if that the Guatemalans orchestrate this. You know what? Here's my conclusion. I go into the comments and I was telling about my conclusion before I log off. I'm getting close to my time. Here's my conclusion. Marking, especially from in front of a police station. Odessa, they don't like the truth. They absolutely don't. Odessa, again, thanks to Jules for opening. Yes. I hate how they beat him. Yes, we all do. So in theory, the compel, I read that part already, but why they have in Belize, okay, I read that already. Here's my conclusion, friends and family and friends, brothers and sisters. Budna, those police officers, these are my speculations. Those police officers were instructed. The order came from high above. I believe, with all the evidence, the law enforcement and the government are in cahoots. I believe they wanted to silence Budna. I believe they wanted to do with Budna whatever because Budna is dangerous to them. Budna have been exposing them. I first learned of Budna when Budna was chopping grass on the highway. Bushy, grass, they cover the rails and they call out the government why they abandon the road like that. That when I first started studying Budna, I was watching his live the night he got abducted when he was saying, oh, they have something in the bush. Oh, I hear somebody say, Budna. I was watching this man's live. So he's an enemy of the state. I believe, based on the evidence, that this is state-sponsored. Now, why they want Senator Guatemala? The Guatemalans, they want fair crime. And I guess spending time in prison in Guatemala, he have less access to family. He's less of a free man to be in jail in another man's country. So I guess it's better for him to be there, better for them that he spend his time in Guatemala. Let him disappear. Even though there is an agreement, I'll post it again. Even though there is an agreement that clearly states, it says, let me read it. In December 2014, I'm sorry, Belize and Guatemala inked 13 agreements on the Placenza Peninsula, including an 18-article agreement governing a future prisoner exchange program. This is an 18-article agreement governing a future prisoner exchange program, which would see nationals of either country, be it Guatemala or Belize, convicted by the other state. So in this case, if Budna is convicted in Guatemala by either state party, serve their sentences at home. So if Budna commit a crime in Guatemala, there's an agreement for Budna to serve his sentence at home. So the state have to agree. Let me read this a little bit more. Amandala contacted official sources to find out how many Guatemalans are listed at the Belize Central Prison, as well as how many Belizeans are known to be incarcerated in Guatemala. Let's find out how many. We were advised that there are 70 Guatemalans in prison, in Belizean prison. 70 Guatemalans in Belizean prison, but one Belizean known to be in prison in Guatemala. The Belizean is well known to the media. His name is Joseph Budna, an escape artist who was handed down extensive sentences in Guatemala for convictions related to kidnapping and extortion. They were nervous about Budna. They were nervous about Budna, I believe. They don't want a Budna roaming free in the streets of Belize. No, they don't. No, they do not. They don't want a Budna roaming free in Belize. They don't. They cannot afford it. They cannot afford a Joseph Budna roaming free in Belize. Markin, the man all over everyone and not afraid. That is true. It came, Odessa, it came from the Prime Minister and Kareem Musa Kompol and the police. Markin, he always stated that anything happened to him, it's the JOB, the government of Belize. You're right about that. Susan, destabilizing, yep. Odessa, Jules Vasquez, get out there and speak up for the people. Justice for all Belizeans. Look, the whole thing that made this whole thing wrong and illegal is that the legal process of extradition, where rights protected to to even challenge an extradition. Extradition is key. These people don't get it. Odessa, I am always on Mr. Budna's live. The man made a ruffle feathers. The man was ruffling some feathers. I have also heard that Budna called out some type of scandalous event where, please don't quote me on this, I think it was with Kareem Musa, some scandalous event that took place on a boat or something. He was ruffling feathers. They wanted him out of their way. That's my belief. This is not a small thing to kidnap a man. You see how they beat up this man? You see how they beat up this man? Make I play this video. Want to really see how they beat up this man? And no. You guys already watched it, but man, oh man, this type of crime. I don't know why we accept this type of abuse from the people who claim to serve us, from the people who claim that they're serving and protecting us. These police officers, the police force, is not working for the people of Belize. And I want to say to you police officers out there, be careful. Be careful. Don't be part of these evildoers. Don't let them. Let's see. Let me play this video here. I wonder if this is it. I think this is it right here. I played it last night. Man, I just can't with these people, for real. All right. I really just can't with these people.
His request.
And very painful. My head, my ribs, my feet, my hands, my back, my belly, even my face. I was beaten badly by members of the Belize Police Department personnel. As you all know, I was kidnapped by these persons who are members of the Belize Police Department, who acted upon instruction from their higher boss, such as the compol of the Belize Police Department. As I heard, one of the men in the vehicle said, "Compol, we have the man." I was knocked out, not before shouting to get the attention of people who might be passing the area, who captured a little bit of the momentum. The police stepped out, and when the police officer stepped out, the police officer said they are police officers and they are acting upon a commission, and the police leave them. They doctored me and put me inside a sky blue SUV Equinox Chevy, heavily tinted, and drove off with me.
And Budna also
Look,
recounted an
man.
important event 3 hours later when they crossed the Arenal border.
Police officer flashed inside the vehicle and observed me. That's when the driver got out and had a slight argument with the police officer who discovered these people.
This is what we're dealing with.
We are joined now by Jules Vasquez
This
on
is the
set
type
to talk about the video and what the emergence of that video means. Jules, first, I want to ask, why is the video so grainy?
Okay, that's an important question, and it's one we need to address. These things are being leaked out against the wishes of the state and the police department. I wish that were not the case, but it is. I have seen the video in full resolution.
So it's
And
intentionally redacted?
It's intentionally redacted.
Okay.
Because this is not supposed to be out there. This is being hidden deliberately.
Was knocked out.
This is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what we're dealing with. Belize, this is how far we've come. Kidnapping. Kidnapping our own citizens and deliver them to a country that's claiming us. This is what it has come to. This is what it has come to. Kidnapping our citizens, handing them over to a country that claims us. Kidnapping our own citizens, handing them over to countries that claim us. How can we be okay with this? How can we be okay with this? Families and friends, we could go on and on. This story will continue to develop. We will continue to hear more of the scandal. Mark this date. If they ever come out with the call log for the Commissioner of Police, for Kareem Musa, for Johnny Briceño, they have control of the telemedia companies. They have control of BTL. They have control of Smart. For every text, you know when you don't pay your bill. When you don't pay your phone bill, especially if you're postpaid or if you have internet at home and you don't pay your internet bill, it get cut off. remotely. They don't have to come in your house and cut it off. Somebody behind the keyboard in front of the computer just have to tap, 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 boom. Who knows? Then you even have to press the keyboard. There's toggle on and off, disconnect, connect, active, inactive. What make you think they don't have administrators who could just go in at the system and just wipe out text, wipe out calls? And even if they print out, even if their system don't have that capability, which I doubt, which I believe strongly that it has, even if you don't have that, do you think that they're going to print out that car log and don't doctor it? So I not look forward to seeing the commissioner's car log because I know they will lie. I don't look forward to seeing Kareem Musa's car log because I know he will lie. Or as I said, Briseño was born from darkness. Franz, what's your verdict for the compul? My verdict for the compul should resign immediately. He should be relieved of his duties immediately, be it temporary or permanently. The commissioner of police should resign. He's under a lot of pressure. And you know what? I want to say this to the commissioner of police. My brother, I have given you a chance personally as a resident, as a citizen of this country. The first time my eyebrows raised when you spoke, when I first hear you spoke, not much the first time I heard you spoke, but the first time I saw you is when you called out the president of PSU. When you allude to a case or something that he was dealing with, that was very unprofessional. That made me feel that you are a puppet. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying that made me feel that you are just a puppet and these people are pulling the strings. And right now, this case with Budna, Mr. Commissioner of Police, I believe with the evidence that they are pulling some strings. And it is very hard for you. It is extremely difficult for you. You will have to lie. I know that. You will have to protect some people. But my brother, I don't know. I'm probably not the fittest person to give you advice on this one. But from one speaking from the outside, you have lost trust. You have lost trust. The people of Belize have lost confidence in you, rightfully so. And you will have to win back the trust, the confidence of the Belizean people if you continue to be Commissioner of Police. You will have to win back the trust if you continue to be Commissioner of Police. Friends and family, brothers and sisters, this is a serious matter. Don't take it lightly. My name is Cyril Uruwei. This is Dangriga Unmuted. Unmuting the truth, demanding change. I'm live every Wednesday. I pop in and out from time to time if I deemed it necessary to comment on issues taking place. For those of you who signed on, for those of you who stayed with me, for those of you who commented, thank you for your time. And I encourage you to join my live, chip in, chime in, comment, share your stories, share your feedback. We have to do our part to hold this government accountable. We have to do our part. We have to kill the spirit of complacency that's killing us. Until we see each other again, Abba Isini, one love, Inebese, respect.